They actually knew the words. I never seemed to. All right, without any further ado, we're going to introduce our teams, starting first and foremost with the team that came all the way from Airdrie, Alberta, the Rockyview Rebels. You guys want to do a step out? Is that cool? All right, I'm going to introduce them, show them some love. They came a long way to be here, starting in the order that's on my list. With number 39, your captain today, Socrates. Followed by number 206, a lot of traction. And number 4U, Hockey Beaten. Followed by number 88, Sanders Smash. And number 1209, Friggin' Diggins. Number 44, Butler. Number 42, Suture Star. Number 6, Nylon Stocking. Number 1812, Nerdy Birdie. Number 7, Sega. Number 666, Bloody Maiden. Number 13, Destroyer. And last but certainly not least, number 58, Gentilly Laced. Give it up one more time for the Rockyview Rebels. I get everybody?
Oh, come on now. They made it all the way here from the distant shores of Airdrie. Let's hear it for the Rebels.
On the bench for the Rebels, I almost forgot, Dick Pounder and Mamacita Muerte.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as Matty McNasty leads the Thrashin Lassies onto the field of battle, I'm going to introduce the home team. Team captain number 507, Mickey Ficky. Number 305, Susie Smoke Show. Number 23, Chrissy Cruiser. Number 94, Ann Narkey. Number 34, Megan for Mercy. Number 18, Sonia Blade. Number 130, Dazzler. Number 143, Lane Splitter. Number 22, Moulin Bruise. Number 512, Ophelia Payne. Number 11, Scarla Mame. Number 808, Non-Stick Pam. And number 8, Tron. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Thrashin Lassies. And on their bench, helping them out, is going to be the lovely Miss Trailer Park Tracy and Twitchblade.
All right, now that we know our teams, our head ref, Scooter, the track is yours. Just a couple quick notes that we might have missed there in the beginning. Bayonet is also skating with the Rebels, and on the bench for the Rebels, Dick Pounder and Mamacita Muerte.
All right, lining up for our first jam. We've got Tron up against a lot of traction. Tron forced to the inside, has to cycle back to the back of the pack. And a lot of traction picks up lead jam. First lead jam of the night. Tron makes her way through the pack. A lot of traction, makes it through, picks up 4 quick points and calls off the jam. Nice quick hit there for the Rebels, getting the first points on the board, 4-0. And
Rockyview Rebels taking first points, as Jim mentioned. Jam 2 coming your way, 5 points up on the board in that first jam.
Non-stick Pam lining up against Destroyer. I understand that she's called that because she destroys things.
What a logical name.
Lots of good blocking against both jammers, trying to find their way through the pack. And non-stick Pam picks up lead jam for the Thrashin Lassies. Non-stick Pam makes it through the pack, picks up 5 points. Getting that extra point there for the for lapping the jammer. Destroyer is through the pack. She's on her point scoring lap now. And Pam breezes through, picks up 4 more points for the Lassies. No points there scored for the Avalanche.
All right, after 2 jams, Rockyview Rebels at 5, Thrashin Lassies at 8 points.
Still
Jim,
way too early to call.
Absolutely, Jim. What would you normally say at this particular moment?
I believe I would say it could go either way. Scarlet Mame lining up against Bloody Maiden. If I'm not mistaken, last time we saw Bloody Maiden, it was her birthday.
I believe so.
And she's got lead jam, Scarlet Mame, right on her heels.
Don't think for a moment that they gave her that lead jam because it was her birthday.
Absolutely not. That was last time, not this time. No points scored that jam. The Rebels jammer smartly calling off the jam. Just one of those tricky spots where when you don't have much of a lead, sometimes it makes more sense to just call it off.
Second jam for Tron, and a lot of traction as they step up in jam 4.
Tron breaks through the pack and grabs lead jam. A lot of traction, was called for a cut track penalty, so she's going to be in the penalty box. That makes this a power jam. And there's 5 points for the Thrashin Lassies.
Susie Smoke Show on her way to the penalty box. She knows that penalty box really well.
They're old pals. So the power jam, you can tell the style of play completely changes when you've only got the one jammer on for the one team. The concept of the game kind of changes pretty dramatically. Tron makes her way through, grabs another 5 points.
That's 15 points so far in this jam for Tron as she keeps it going. A lot of traction back out on the track, out of the penalty box.
And 3 points picked up there by the Lassies. No points for the Rebels as the jam gets called off.
That was an 18-point jam there for Tron, bringing the Thrashin Lassies up to 26. They maintain and stretch out that lead against the Rebels, now sitting at 5. Jam 5 coming your way.
In Germany, that would be Das Fünfenjammen. As Destroyer and Non-Stick Pam line up. Non-stick Pam forced outside, has to cycle back at the back of the pack. And Destroyer picks up lead jam. Looks like Chrissy Cruiser's on her way to the penalty box. And we killed a ref. Susie Smoke Show knocking Destroyer outside. And Destroyer calls off the jam. Not before the Thrashin Lassies pick up 4 more points.
Four points for Non-Stick Pam brings the Thrashin Lassies now up to 26. Rockyview Rebels holding at 5 points. With an official timeout being called, great opportunity to thank a few friends. I want to thank the CRDA sponsors, including Rad Printing, Dennis Plintz and Associates. The scoreboard is provided by TECC Consulting and Systems. Demonized Clothing, who are not here today, but they're typically in Vendor Village. Carrie's Closet, Nerd Roller Skates, rollergirl.ca, Wicked Skatewear. The Bouncy Castle is provided by Playtime Party Rentals and Radar Rentals. Also, folks, if you haven't had a chance yet, make sure you head on over to Vendors Village. Check out all the wares of the wonderful vendors who've joined us here today, including Underdogs, the large breed dog rescue folks. They got some great information and lots of interesting merchandise like beer koozies and magnets, and t-shirts are on sale over there. You want to check that out. Also want to say hello to the folks at Crooked Seams Emporium. All sorts of cool derby-related items like hand-painted plates and some other sewn things like pillows and that kind of stuff. You want to check that out. The League's own Vamputee has got her Do You Bake table set up over there with baking stuff. Easy to bake for guys like me who can barely find the oven sometimes. Clever Cranberry has got all sorts of jams over there to try. She's got some interesting ones. She's got like a cherry and clove, which sounds awesome. Want to check out, talk to Amanda at South Hill Designs. Got some really cool jewelry and things. Dames and Dolls Leggings is over there, and also Naturally Unique. You want to check all that out. And don't forget to pick up your CRDA League merch and the bake sale table for all your cupcakes and cookies and things.
So for that official timeout, what was happening was Dick Pounder, who's coaching the Rebels, wanted to challenge a call. He wanted to argue that Non-Stick Pam had a cut track penalty. That argument was successful, so Bloody Maiden is the sole jammer as Non-Stick Pam has to sit in the penalty box for a little while. However, we just had a penalty against Bloody Maiden, so as soon as she sits down, that's going to free Miss Non-Stick Pam. Also, while we're talking about interesting goings-on in the world of things to buy, Dick needs to remember to bring shirt, but he has shirts special. Bring Dick to Dallas shirts. Dick Pounder's going to be doing some announcing in Dallas for a huge roller derby event.
The World Cup, in fact.
The World Cup. And he would love it if you guys would check out his Facebook page and maybe pick up a Send Dick to Dallas t-shirt.
All right, 5 points in that jam brings the Thrashin Lassies up to 31. Jam 6 in the pocket. Rockyview Rebels still at 5 points. Lots of play left to go. 23 minutes in this first half.
Scarla Main lining up for the Thrashin Lassies, and she's taken on a lot of traction from the Rebels.
This is Scarla's second time up to the jam line. A lot of traction, her third.
Scarla finds a hole on the outside and gets her way through, picking up lead jam. A lot of traction. It's pretty hot on her heels, though. And we see the apex jump. Unfortunately, she landed inside, so she had to go to the back of the track.
Yeah, if you notice there that she actually didn't stand, because if she had stood, she would have received a penalty for that.
A lot of traction, picking up 4 points. Scarla Mame also grabbing 4 points. Yeah, the apex jump is it's awful sexy, but it can go horribly, horribly wrong. Dazzler making her way to the penalty box now.
She got a failure to reform penalty, being a little too far ahead of the pack.
And 4 points picked up by both teams there again. I cannot help but notice a distinctive lack of Lassies.
They're just trying out the penalty box, see how it fits.
Yeah. And Scarlet Mame calls off the jam, picking up 4 more points before she does so.
That 12-point jam for Scarlet Mame brings the Lassies up to 45. Rebels now shooting forward. Another 12 points up on the board for them. Now at 17. 21 minutes and 37 seconds left to play in the first half. Jam 7 is down. Jam 8 coming away right away. An official timeout has been called. Great opportunity to let you folks know that we have a beer garden at this side of the arena. For you folks down there who don't have an alcoholic beverage in your hand, you can come on down here as long as you show picture ID. Beer is $5.
And it's delicious. I don't know if you've tried it before, but beer is delicious.
Wild Rose Brewery, we got like 4 or 5 different Wild Rose beers over there. Also have, what are they called? Palm Bay coolers, if you're not the beer fan like myself. And coming up, what's that? An Okanagan cider. Also, a little bit later on, we're going to have Extreme, what is it called? Dodge beer?
Extreme Dodge beer from the Extreme Dodge Beer League is going to be set up over there. A brand new, exciting sport. I understand it's really, really hard on the liver, but really good on the social life.
Yeah, Shane and Garrett are going to be playing Dodge beer and showing you how to play. So if you're interested, you want to head on over to the beer garden, say hello to those fellas, and they'll show you how Dodge beer works. Also, you want to check out, they have a Facebook page set up for their league, which is the, what is it, EDBL, Extreme Dodge Beer League. Check them out on Facebook and try out this new exciting sport, which I think includes beer.
I'm pretty sure. Usually when things have beer in the title, they are both beer related and delicious. Unless, of course, you make better choices in your life than I do, in which case I still respect you.
For now.
Yeah, I'm really not a role model, just saying.
Also want to say hello to the folks from Dickens Pub over there in the beer garden when you're over and trying this new sport or having a beverage. Who do we got there today?
That's my buddy Miles. Miles has perhaps the best beard in the world.
He does have a pretty impressive beard.
You have to touch it to truly appreciate it. Yeah. It is luxurious.
Yeah. Folks from Dickens usually are after-party sponsor. Tonight there is no official fan after-party, but that does not mean that you shouldn't join us over at Dickens because there's a charity event going on there tonight, the Femme Fatale Carnival. Tickets are $25 at the door. All the money goes to charity. So if you want to join us at Dickens, you're going to want to come and check that out later.
Tron and Destroyer lining up for the jam.
I met a Tron Destroyer once, a very angry fellow who didn't like video games.
Crazy. And Tron picks up lead jam.
Her second lead out of 3 jams for her tonight.
Destroyer being tied up a little bit there by Mickey Ficky and Ann Narkey, but she makes it through the pack. She's now on her point-scoring run. And Tron sneaks that last point in and calls off the jam, grabbing 4 points for the Lassies.
Four additional points up on the board for the Thrashin Lassies, now at 53. 20 minutes and 47 seconds left to play. Rockyview Rebels at lucky number 13. Jam 8 is down. Jam 9 coming right up.
And this jam is brought to you by Nonstick Pam and Bloody Maiden. I also understand that this jam is amplified.
So let's ride.
And let some backbone slide. Looks like Nonstick Pam has been sent to the penalty box for back block. That's going to give the Rebels a power jam.
And Bloody Maiden with her second lead jam of the afternoon. Keep wanting to say night. We're not even really there yet.
You know why, though? It's because nighttime is the best time.
Well, it's a wonderful time anyway for falling in love or enjoying a Coke or something.
Because it feels like a happy time. It clearly has to be nighttime. It's just the rules.
Bloody Maiden taking the swapping out there in the penalty box, putting non-stick Pam back out on the track. Pam doesn't have lead jam though, so no lead jammer at this particular moment.
So this jam is going to go the full 2 minutes, I do believe.
I don't think she maintains lead if she's been in the penalty box. I don't think she has. Oh, she did.
But I could be wrong. Non-stack Pam picks up 5 points for the Lassies. And 4 more points there for non-stick Pam and the Lassies.
Bloody Maiden getting tossed around in corner 4. Susie Smoke Show and Cruiser keeping her at bay.
I remember when I first started calling roller derby, Chrissy Cruiser was the lightning fast jammer. She still is, but she has really, really improved as a blocker, and she's one of the premier blockers. And there's our jam. Another 5 last-minute points picked up by the Lassies.
5 additional points for Thrashing Lassies and non-stick Pam at the end of that jam. 67 points for the Lassies. Rockyview Rebels with 17 points now. 18 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in this first half. 9 jams down, many more to come. An official timeout has been called by our head ref, Scooter. She's going to be joined by Graffiti Petey, Dodger Balls, Lil Red, Kitty Kitty Jerkface, all the folks in stripes, as well as our head NSO Snow is out there. Folks, if you're hungry, make sure to check out the food truck. Benito Burrito should be parked outside, right outside the Triwood Arena door. They're serving up some burritos, I would assume. Also, there's food available in the canteen, as far as I can tell. And make sure you check out, you get some snacks at the CRDA bake sale table just in front of the Bouncy Castle. Cupcakes, cookies, other treats put together or made by the CRDA League members for your enjoyment. I think everything is $2 over there, so you'll want to check it out.
So we're starting this off with a power start. Scarla Main will be the lone jammer at the start of this jam.
You said the lone jammer, right?
The lone jammer. And she punches her way through the pack and grabs that lead jam spot.
This is her second lead jam out of 3 for Scarla Main.
And she finds a pathway around the outside, picks up 5 points there. Rebel's not quite so happy to let her through quite as easily this time. Lots of good hitting. But Scarla makes it through, grabbing 5 more points. Again, that extra point is because she gets a point for the jammer as well. And Mickey Ficky on her way to the penalty box, as is Bloody Maiden. So that'll return this to power jam status. Scarla Main calls off the jam, grabbing several more points. 4, 5, one of those. I think it was 4.
17 minutes or so left to play in the first half. Team timeout or a challenge has been called by Coach Cheese approaching Scooter. Just finding out what's going on there. Twitchblade also approaching the center.
While we've got an official timeout, I'd like to just take a second to say a huge congratulations to the CRDA All-Stars.
Woohoo!
Had a fantastic weekend at the Maple Stirrup.
That's correct.
Out in Hammer City, Hamilton.
Yeah.
They had 3 games in a tournament, and they absolutely dominated and leaped up the standings in terms of the power rankings for Canadian roller derby leagues. So they showed real strength as a team, and that was awesome.
Absolutely. They turned a lot of heads from teams that they had never played before and hadn't had a chance to see them yet. And I know the folks in Ontario are definitely talking about your very own CRDA All-Stars.
And they're doing it in that funny Ontario accent.
What are you talking about?
So we're starting again with a power start here. Tron's going to be jamming for the Thrashin Lassies. Bloody Maiden still serving that penalty time in the box. And Tron gets through some pretty good aggressive blocking there. Picks up lead jam. Susie Smoke Show helping her out by punching a hole, collapsing the pack a little bit. 5 more points there picked up by Tron. Bloody Maiden picks up, or I guess she didn't pick up points, she got through her first lap, sorry.
It's all good. Tron picking up 10 points in that jam, putting the Lassies now up to 95. 16 minutes left to play in the first half. Just about the quarter mark. Jam 11 is now done. Jam 12 coming right up.
A lot of traction taking on Non-Stick Pam.
This is the 4th jam for both of these gals. Non-Stick has gotten lead twice, and Alana's had 1 lead in the times that they've been up.
And Non-Stick Pam picks up lead jam. That rhymed. I'm basically a rapper. Moulin Bruce doing a good job tying up a lot of traction. But she makes it through, gets through the pack. Non-Stick having some problems at the back of the pack, calls off the jam. She did manage to pick up 3 points.
Just about 15 minutes gone. We've got 12 jams down now. Scarlameme and brand new jammer for Rebels, Nerdy Birdie, stepping up this time.
Scarlameme thought she had a clear path on the outside, bumped out, has to go back to the back of the pack. That allows Nerdy Birdie to pick up the lead jam spot for the Rebels. Scarlameme through the pack now.
And she didn't do it cleanly, so she does not have lead. That's going to be an interesting position. Oh, no, that's right. Nerdy Birdie got lead. You're right.
So she grabbed some quick points there, 4 quick points, and called off the jam with a high five from Coach Cheese. Which is, for the record, some very, very hot cheese.
At 4 points now, bringing the Rebels up to 21 points with 13 jams down. Just under 14 minutes left to play in the first half.
Destroyer lined up to take on Tron.
Tron has been 3 out of 4 lead jams. Her time's up to the line this game. Destroyer 1 of 3.
Tron picks up lead jam and calls off the jam before the Destroyer, who was hot on her heels, could potentially cause some destruction. See how I did that?
Where I come from, we call that damage control. Tron knew that she would have a race on her hands, decided, I don't need to skate that much, calls it off.
Exactly. All right, Non-Stick Pam lining up against a lot of traction. Non-Stick Pam punching a hole through, almost made her way clear of the pack, and then taken to the outside. A lot of traction, picks up lead jam for the Rebels.
That's her second lead out of 5 times up to the line.
Non-Stick is through the pack. Both jammers on their point score and passes. And a lot of traction, calls off the jam, grabbing 4 points. 2 points picked up by the Thrashin Lassies.
Those 4 points for the Rebels, pushing them now to 25. Thrashin Lassies cracking the century mark, now sitting at 100 points. 12 minutes left to play in the first half.
Nerdy Birdie lined up to jam against Scarla Mame. Scarla finds a hole on the outside, or the inside, sorry, and bursts her way through. Grabs that lead jam spot. Nerdy Birdie also through the pack. And looks like Sonia Blade is making her way to the penalty box. And there's 4 points there for the Rebels. Scarla Mame grabs 4 more points and calls off the jam. And we're seeing Tron up against Destroyer again.
This is Tron's 6th time to the jam line, 4 of those being lead, and Destroyer's been up 5 times. She's taken lead 1 of those times.
Susie Smoke Show tying up Destroyer by using her teammates as weapons. Tron makes it through the pack and grabs lead jam.
Susie Smoke Show headed to the penalty box.
Again.
How many is that, Smokey? Who's counting?
Destroyer is through the pack. And Tron calls off the jam after grabbing 3 quick points there.
Ten minutes left to play in the first half. 17 jams down. Looking at least 5 more coming your way. Thrashin Lassie sitting at 107. Rebels at 29. Interesting first half. We're going to see what happens after they get a chance to split up, chat about the first half, and come on back in the second half.
Yeah, I imagine that Coach Cheese will try and fire up the Rebels, come up with some different strategies. He's intimately familiar with the inner workings of the Thrashin Lassies.
I believe the French call that fondue.
Fondant. So Pam is not the lead jammer. She's in the lead. A lot of traction, allowing her to almost taste some points before calling off the jam.
Was that jam a wash? Yeah, the point score staying at the same as the last jam. Jam 19 coming up, 9 minutes left to play in this first half.
And again to the line, we've got Nerdy Birdie and Scarla Mame.
This is Scarla's 6th jam out there and lead jam 4 of those times. Nerdy Birdie's been out 3 times, taken lead in their first jam.
Both jammers on their point scoring runs. Scarla Mame does have the lead jam and bursts her way through the pack, grabbing 4 quick points before calling it off.
That's what we call in the Derby world a hit it and quit it. Scarla picked up those 4 points, decided no point putting a race in place here, let's call it off.
Tron lining up against Destroyer.
7 jams to Tron's credit in this first half. Destroyer, this is her 6th. Tron has picked up 5 of those as lead jams. Destroyer with 1 lead under her belt thus far.
Destroyer runs into a nice big hit by Moulin Bruise. Thought she had a clean line on the inside, but was stopped short. Both teams doing a good job jamming the blocker, but, blocking the jammer. I totally said that, didn't I? Tron manages to pick up lead jam. And Destroyer with a little hit on Tron as she went by. Moulin Bruise forcing Destroyer to the outside. She has to go in behind Moulin Bruce, so Moulin sneaks back even farther to make her work that extra little bit harder. 5 points there, picked up by Tron.
All right. Thank you for your patience, folks. Destroyer, I think she's going to be okay. Maybe took a weird hit there, but getting up on her own is a good sign. She's going to have to sit a couple out for the injury. And we'll get back to the action here very shortly.
Yeah, it's always important to remember this is a full contact sport. This is regulation concrete from the concrete farms of northern Saskatchewan. So it will hurt when you fall on it, and every now and then we do have our injuries. It's always really good to see when the players are able to skate off on their own power.
It's important to note that we always have emergency medical staff on site when we do these events to make sure not only the safety of the skaters and the officials, but also the fans.
Non-stick Pam Janin up against a lot of traction. And Pam makes her way through, picks up lead jam. I believe Ophelia Payne's on her way to the penalty box. I didn't catch the call, but I'm sure she earned it. Bayonet also going to the penalty box for the Rebels. Non-stick Pam picks up 4 points and calls off the jam.
Four more points up on the board for the Thrashin Lassies. That's going to put them at 121. Now the Rockyview Rebels at 29. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the first half.
Nerdy Birdie taking the jam line up with Scarla Mame for the Lassies.
This is Nerdy Birdie's 4th jam and Scarla's 7th.
Moulin Bruce doing a good job of taking out Nerdy Birdie, who picks up lead jam. Bloody Maiden with a big hit on Scarla Mame, slows her down enough. Now she's being tied up a little bit there by, I believe that's Butler. But she gets through the pack and is now in point scoring position. And Nerdy Birdie picks up 4 points and calls off the jam. For those of you that love Dick, remember you can always pick up a Send Dick to Dallas t-shirt. If you go to his Facebook page, there's a Send Dick to Dallas t-shirt, and our very own Dick Pounder, who is also known as Coach Cheese, will be doing some announcing for the World Cup in
Dallas.
Or if you say it with a French accent, it's Dalais.
Hey folks, if you like what you're seeing here, if you're new to roller derby but are interested in getting involved, always looking for folks to volunteer, get involved. You don't necessarily have to be a player. You can also be a skating official or a non-skating official, or NSO as we call them. If you're interested, let us know. Talk to the folks at the merch table or check out calgaryrollerderby.com and just send a quick email. Let us know that you're interested, want to find out how you can get involved. We would love to have you on the crew, and there's tons of fun stuff that goes on. We're a great group of people. We'd love to have you join us.
My favorite part is Pinata Thursdays.
Except when you're the pinata.
Yeah, that's never a good time.
We haven't figured out a suitable substitute for that event. I don't know.
There was that one time we tried cover me in paper mache and beat me with a stick Thursdays, but it just felt like the same thing.
CRDA would like to once again thank our sponsors, Rad Printing, Dennis Plintz and Associates. The scoreboard, of course, provided by TECC Consulting and Systems, or Tech Consulting and Systems, Demonized Clothing, Carrie's Closet, Nerd Roller Skates, Rollergirl.ca, Wicked Skatewear, the Bouncy Castle provided Playtime Rentals, and don't forget about Radar Rentals as well. Folks, coming up in between the games, just before the second game starts, I know this is a little premature, but I want to warn you now, we're going to be doing a bit of a contest. We got some prizes to give away. We got a couple gift certificates for Carrie's Closet. We also have a set of Calgary Stampeder tickets for the Labor Day Classic, so you're going to want to stick around for that. We're going to probably have about 30 people participate. We'll whittle it down to 3 winners, and so stick around or come back a little bit early in between the games. Coming up at the half, we're just going to have probably a quick break in about 5 minutes time, 6 minutes time. So make sure you grab a drink, hit the washroom, do what you got to do, come on back. Another full 30-minute half in this game coming your way.
I love the fact that we have a bouncy castle, I just gotta say.
I just wish we had a bigger one so that I could play too.
I'm pretty sure that at some point I'm gonna wind up in that thing. Possibly wearing some kind of vegetable oil.
Jim.
I mean, sir, what? Hi. Welcome to the game.
Inside voice, Jim.
Inside voice. All right, lining up the jam, we've got Tron and Hockey Beaten, number 4U from the Rebels. Tron punches her way through and grabs lead jam.
This is Hockey Beaten's first time with the star cover on. Tron, of course, has been out there a number of times, 8 to be exact.
And she grabs a quick 4 points and calls off the jam.
I'm sensing a theme here. We've got a lot of jams taking on the jammer position by Tron, Non-Stick Pam, and Scarla Mayhem in this game by the Lassies. Our primary jammers for the Rebels have been Destroyer, a lot of traction, and Bloody Maiden and Nerdy Birdie.
Both jammers having a bit of a rough patch getting through the solid blocking in the pack. But a lot of traction gets through, picks up lead jam for the Rebels. Non-Stick Pam also through.
This is a lot of traction's third lead jam out of 7.
And Bloody Maiden's making her way to the penalty box. Non-Stick Pam picks up 4 points for the Thrashin Lassies. Susie Smoke Show on her way to the penalty box for a forearm penalty. And 5 more points there picked up by Non-Stick Pam before the Rebels pick up 3 points and call off the jam.
2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in this first half. 24 jams down. We got jam 25 coming your way. We're only going to have maybe 1 or 2 more in this first half before these two teams get a chance to regroup, reset, and do it all over again.
Revitalize, re-energize, reconstitute.
We already said recycle. Shoot.
Rescind. Remonstrate. Tron picks up lead jam as I rabble off words that start with R-E. Like a rehabilitated criminal. Tron gets through the pack there, grabs 4 quick points, calls off the jam. No points for the Rebels that jam.
Hit it and quit it one more time for Tron. It's important to note she's had 8 lead jams out of 9 jams that she's been up there today. That brings the Lassies score up to 138. Rockyview Rebels now sitting at 36. 1 minute and a half left to go or so. 25 jams down.
Non-stick Pam and Hockey Beaten giving each other a couple of love taps before getting their way into the pack. Lane splitter with a big hit on Hockey Beaten, and she just took the hit and made her way through, picked up lead jam. Non-stick Pam hot in her heels. And Hockey Beaten calls off the jam before Non-stick Pam can...
impressive jam there for Hockey Beaten. She really kept Pam at bay, and it looked like we almost had a problem there in corner 2, but they held it together. Excellent show by both those jammers.
Yep, absolutely. Hockey Beaten did a really good job. Pam is no new face to Derby, and Hockey Beaten kept her tied up really well. Tron lining up against Nerdy Birdie. Both jammers dealing with that solid blocking. No, Tron found a hole on the inside, skated her way through, picked up lead jam. Tron picking up 5 points. Nerdy Birdie having her hands full with the combination of Moulin Brews, Mickey Ficky, and Megan for Mercy. They were just making her life miserable. But she's gotten through the pack. And Tron calls off a jam, grabbing 3 more points for the Lassies.
And that last whistle indicates that it is halftime. We got a 15-minute or so break until the next half in this game. At the half, we're left with 145 up on the board for the Thrashin Lassies. Rockyview Rebels at 36. Could be an interesting second half, folks. They're going to get a chance to do all those things that we talked about earlier. And come on back. Washrooms out in the foyer. There's a cantina out there, the food truck outside, the bake sale's inside here. We will see you in about 14 minutes and change.